In modern life, each passing day seems to become busier and more complex. We rush through work, worry about family, and face unending stress. Have you ever felt tired and wondered, how can I live more lightly? How can I find peace within my soul? Buddhism, with its simple yet profound teachings, offers us answers. The Buddha teaches that happiness does not lie in what we possess, but in understanding ourselves and living in harmony with the fundamental values of life. Simplifying life is not about getting rid of everything, but about letting go of what is unnecessary and focusing on what truly matters. Today, we will explore how to apply Buddhist principles to make life simpler and more meaningful. These principles are not just philosophies but practical guidelines that you can implement in your daily life. Key content of the video. Mindfulness. Did you know that mindfulness is the key to finding peace? When we focus on the present moment and overlook unnecessary worries, everything seems clearer and easier. Letting go of unnecessary burdens. Sometimes, burdens do not come from life itself but from what we choose to carry. The Buddha teaches that letting go does not mean losing something, it helps us feel lighter. Practicing compassion. A kind word or a small loving action not only helps others but also soothes our own souls. Contentment is happiness. Instead of chasing after lavish things, let's learn to appreciate what we already have. The one who knows enough is the richest, as the Buddha taught. Awareness in actions. Before every decision, ask yourself, is this really necessary? Does it bring value? The answer will help you live much more simply. Life is not inherently complicated. Often, it is our excessive desires that make it convoluted. Let the Buddha's teachings guide you to a simpler and more peaceful life. If you find this video helpful, please like it to spread the value. Share it with friends and family, as you might be planting a good seed in their lives. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss meaningful Buddhist lessons in upcoming videos. Let's begin the journey of living simply and finding peace in every breath. Thank you for joining us. A brief introduction to Buddhism and simplicity. Buddhism is not just a religion, it is also a path to awakening and lasting happiness. According to the Buddha's teachings, true happiness does not lie in what we own, nor does it depend on fame, wealth, or external success. These things only bring temporary joy and can lead to stress if we cling to them too much. Lasting happiness, according to Buddhism, only comes when our minds are purified and we live in harmony with the fundamental values of life. Purifying the mind to achieve peace. The Buddha once taught, the mind is the source of all things. If our minds are pure, all our actions and thoughts will align with goodness. Purifying the mind means eliminating negative emotions like anger, greed, and envy, replacing them with compassion, contentment, and mindfulness. When the mind is purified, we are no longer controlled by afflictions and ambitions. Living simply yet meaningfully. Buddhism encourages us to live simply, not by renouncing everything, but by letting go of what is unnecessary. The Buddha taught, the one who knows enough always feels rich. This does not mean rejecting material things but cherishing what we already have. A delicious meal, a gentle breeze, or a quiet afternoon can bring joy if we live mindfully. Mindfulness in every moment. One of the core values of Buddhism is mindfulness, focusing on the present with clear awareness and without judgment. When we are truly present in the moment, every action, no matter how small, such as eating, walking, or gardening, becomes meaningful. Mindfulness helps us avoid distractions and appreciate each moment of life. The connection between simplicity and peace. Buddhism teaches not only about material simplicity but also about simplicity of the soul. This simplicity helps reduce unnecessary worries, freeing the mind from pressure and bringing peace. A person who lives simply doesn't need to own much but can fully enjoy the small things in life. Lessons from the life of the Buddha. The life of the Buddha is a clear testament to simplicity and meaningfulness. By renouncing the luxurious palace, he chose to live the life of a monk in search of truth. Through years of meditation and learning, he realized that simplicity is the path to enlightenment. His teachings remind us that happiness does not lie in what we have, but in how we live. Connecting teachings to modern life. In modern life, simplifying according to Buddhism is not as difficult as we might think. Sometimes, just a smile, a word of encouragement, or a kind action is enough to sow seeds of happiness for ourselves and others. We can practice simplicity by reducing unnecessary needs, focusing on the present, and cherishing what we have. Buddhism not only helps us face life more lightly but also enriches the meaning of each passing day. Simplicity does not diminish the value of life, rather, it helps us discover and enjoy the most important things, the peace from within. Principle 1, Mindfulness, the path to a simple and peaceful life. Mindfulness is one of the core teachings in Buddhism, imparted by the Buddha to help individuals escape from suffering and attain inner peace. Mindfulness, or awareness, is not merely about focusing on the present moment, it is also about living in a harmonious, gentle, and simple way. Modern life often pulls us into a whirlwind of worries about the future and regrets about the past, leading to a tired and chaotic mind. Mindfulness is the way to bring us back to the present moment, where we can truly live and experience everything fully. This not only brings peace to the soul but also makes life much simpler. 1. What is mindfulness according to Buddhist teachings? According to the Buddha's teachings, mindfulness, sati, is a state of awareness, a clear consciousness of every action, thought, and feeling in the present moment. Mindfulness helps us avoid being swept away by fantasies, negative emotions, or everyday worries. The Buddha emphasized, "The past is gone, the future is not yet here. Only the present is truly existent." Mindfulness is not just about paying attention, it requires us to observe everything with an objective, non-judgmental attitude. This helps the soul become lighter and freer, unbound by unnecessary concerns. 2. Mindfulness and a simple life. Mindfulness is closely related to living simply. When practicing mindfulness, we learn to recognize what is important and to let go of what is unnecessary. Life becomes lighter when we are no longer burdened by complicated thoughts or unrealistic desires. Mindfulness helps eliminate distractions. Modern life is filled with distractions, notifications on our phones, work pressures, and incessant thoughts. By practicing mindfulness, we learn to focus on one thing at a time, such as when eating, paying attention only to the flavors and textures of the food. This not only enhances the quality of the experience but also reduces fatigue from overthinking. Mindfulness helps differentiate between what is important and what is not. When living mindfully, we can easily recognize what is truly necessary and what merely clutters our minds. This helps us let go of unnecessary physical and mental burdens, making life simpler and more serene. 3. Benefits of mindful living for a simpler life. Mindfulness brings inner peace. When we focus on the present, our minds are not pulled into anxieties about the future or regrets about the past. This creates a peaceful mental space where we can live fully and relaxed. Mindfulness enhances the quality of life. When living mindfully, every experience becomes more meaningful. A simple meal can bring joy if we truly savor it. A quiet morning can inspire us if we focus on the beauty around us. Mindfulness reduces material needs. Practicing mindfulness teaches us that happiness does not come from having more but from appreciating what we already possess. When we realize this, we chase fewer unnecessary needs, simplifying our lives. 4. How to practice mindfulness daily. Mindfulness in eating. When eating, put your phone down, avoid watching TV, and focus solely on the food in front of you. Observe the colors, savor the aromas, and enjoy each bite slowly. This is not only good for health but also helps you appreciate the joy of the simplest things. Mindfulness in work. When working, focus on one task at a time. Don't let your mind wander to unfinished tasks or things beyond your control. Do your best in what you can and let everything else unfold naturally. Mindfulness in communication. When talking with others, truly listen without interrupting or making judgments. This not only improves relationships but also deepens the connection between you and the other person. Mindfulness in relaxation. Even when resting, focus entirely on that feeling of relaxation. A walk, a session of meditation, or simply sitting quietly can become a source of positive energy if you truly inhabit that moment. 5. Mindfulness is a journey, not a destination. Mindfulness is not something you achieve overnight. It is a continuous journey where you train your mind each day to become more aware. Each time you return to the present, you are planting a seed of peace and happiness in your soul. Remember, mindfulness does not require you to change your entire life instantly. Just start with small things, focus when eating, breathe slowly, and allow your mind to be still for a few minutes each day. Mindfulness is not only a principle of Buddhism but also the key to living a simple, gentle, and meaningful life. When you practice mindfulness, you will realize that the complexities of life often originate from your own mind. Start today by focusing on the present and enjoying the beauty of each moment. If you find this content helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to spread the profound values of Buddhist teachings. Let's practice mindfulness together and make life simpler day by day. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Principle 2, Letting Go of What is Unnecessary, the Art of Simple Living according to Buddhist teachings. The Buddha once taught, the burden does not come from what we carry, but from our refusal to let go. This saying shines a light for those who are struggling amidst the complexities of life. In reality, it is not the difficulties, responsibilities, or heavy material possessions that weigh us down, but rather the attachment and inability to relinquish what is unnecessary that creates burdens in our souls. Letting go is not about abandoning everything, but about understanding what is truly important and meaningful, allowing us to remove unnecessary concerns and help life become lighter and more serene. 1. The meaning of letting go in Buddhist teachings. In Buddhism, letting go, or non-attachment, non-self, is essential for achieving liberation. The Buddha taught that the root of all suffering is attachment to impermanent things, such as wealth, fame, relationships, or even thoughts and emotions. This attachment is like a smoldering fire, burning us from within, keeping the mind in a state of worry and unease. When we learn to let go, that fire gradually dies down, leaving behind tranquility and peace. Letting go does not mean rejecting responsibility or living passively. On the contrary, it is a way to live a more meaningful life, focusing on core values and reducing unnecessary complexity. 2. Letting go and simple living. Letting go is closely related to simplifying life. When we let go of unnecessary things, life becomes lighter, creating space to enjoy what is truly important. Letting go of material possessions. If not controlled, material possessions can easily become burdens. The Buddha taught that chasing after material goods only leads people into a spiral of greed and fatigue. By letting go of items that are no longer needed, we not only free up our living space but also liberate our minds from invisible pressures. For example, a house full of clutter takes up time for cleaning, searching, and maintaining. In contrast, a tidy living space that contains only what is truly necessary brings comfort and peace. Letting go of negative emotions. Attachment is not only to material things but also to emotions. Feelings of anger, anxiety, or resentment not only weigh down the mind but also affect health and relationships around us. The Buddha once said, "Holding on to anger is like holding a hot coal to throw at someone else. You are the one who gets burned first." Learning to forgive and let go of negative emotions is not a sign of weakness, but a way to free oneself from suffering. Letting go of unhealthy relationships. Not all relationships bring positive value. Some relationships drain our energy, create pressure, or become meaningless. Letting go of these relationships is not selfish, rather, it is self-care that creates space for healthier connections. 3. Benefits of letting go of what is unnecessary. A tranquil soul. When no longer bound by unnecessary things, the mind becomes lighter and more peaceful. Reduced stress. Letting go helps eliminate undue pressures, bringing balance and reducing stress in daily life. Increased energy. Unnecessary concerns are like heavy weights pulling us down. By letting go, we feel energized to focus on what truly matters. Simplifying every aspect of life. Letting go helps organize life, from living space to time to the mind. This creates conditions for you to live more fully and meaningfully. 4. How to practice letting go. Identify what is unnecessary. Take time to ask yourself, is this really necessary? Does it bring me any value? For example, an item you haven't used in years, a relationship that exhausts you, or a persistent negative thought. Practice compassion and forgiveness. Letting go is not just an action but a state of mind. Learn to forgive yourself and others so that your mind is not imprisoned by negative emotions. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness helps you become more aware of what is truly important. When living consciously, you can easily distinguish what to keep and what to let go. Start small. Letting go does not have to be an immediate act with significant items. Start with small actions, such as decluttering your living space, eliminating bad habits, or journaling to release emotions. 5. Mindfulness and the art of letting go. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in letting go. When living mindfully, we become more aware of what is happening in our minds and lives. This awareness helps us avoid getting lost in negative emotions or unnecessary concerns. For example, when you practice mindfulness during meditation, you may realize that a negative thought is merely fleeting and does not need to be clung to. This makes it easier to let go of those emotions. Letting go is not about losing but about freeing oneself to live a simpler and more meaningful life. The Buddha teaches that only by letting go of what is unnecessary can we find true freedom and happiness. Start today by letting go little by little, from material things, emotions, to unhealthy relationships. You will find life becoming lighter, and your soul filled with peace. If you find this lesson helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to spread the positive values from Buddhist teachings. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Principle 3, Practicing Compassion, the key to a simple and happy life. Compassion, in Buddhist teachings, is not just love, it is also a wise way of living. The Buddha taught that compassion, karuna, not only benefits others but also liberates us from negative emotions, making our souls light and peaceful. Practicing compassion does not require grand actions. Sometimes, just a kind word, a caring gesture, or a small act can spread light to the world around us and to ourselves. Let's explore compassion according to the Buddha's teachings and how it contributes to a simple, meaningful life. Compassion in Buddhist teachings. According to the Buddha, compassion is one of the 4 immeasurable minds, the 4 Brahmaviharas. Loving kindness, metta unconditional love, wishing all beings happiness. Compassion, karuna understanding and sharing the suffering of others, wishing to help them overcome their pain. Sympathetic joy, mudita joy in the happiness of others, without envy. Equanimity, upekkha a balanced mind, treating all equally, unaffected by praise or blame. Among these, compassion is central, helping us connect deeply with those around us and bring tranquility to ourselves. The Buddha said, when you are compassionate towards others, you are also being compassionate to yourself. Compassion is not just an action, it is a state of mind, a way of perceiving and facing life. It arises from the awareness that all beings have their own suffering, and understanding and sharing helps reduce selfishness and negative emotions like anger and jealousy. Compassion and a simple life. Compassion is closely related to simplifying life. When we live with compassion, our souls are no longer dominated by worries or negative emotions, making life lighter and more meaningful. Freeing the soul from negative emotions. Nurturing compassion allows anger, jealousy, and resentment to gradually fade away. These negative emotions are often the heaviest burdens, causing confusion in our minds and complicating life. Practicing compassion helps free the soul, bringing peace and lightness. Creating genuine connections with others. Compassion is not only a way to help others but also fosters genuine and healthy relationships. When you treat others kindly, you will receive love and respect in return. Such relationships simplify life, steering clear of conflict and stress. Appreciating the small things. Living with compassion helps you realize that happiness comes not from grand things but from appreciating the simple, a thank you, a smile, or a sympathetic glance. This helps you live more simply, focusing on what truly matters. Benefits of practicing compassion. Bringing inner peace. By being compassionate, you not only soothe the suffering of others but also calm your own soul. A compassionate person always feels light, free from the pressures of negative emotions. Improving mental and physical health. Numerous scientific studies have shown that compassion reduces stress, improves mood, and enhances overall health. Practicing compassion releases positive hormones like oxytocin, making you feel happier. Spreading positive energy. Compassion is like a candle, it can light countless other candles without losing its own flame. An act of compassion can create a chain reaction of positivity, spreading kindness and love to many. Creating meaning in life. Practicing compassion helps you find a higher purpose, transcending personal desires to focus on helping and loving others. Ways to practice compassion daily. Start with small acts. Compassion doesn't require grand gestures. Begin by smiling at strangers, saying thank you, or helping others within your capacity. Listen and empathize. Sometimes, sincerely listening to someone is also an act of compassion. Take time to understand the feelings and concerns of others, rather than just offering opinions or judgments. Forgive others. Forgiveness is a noble expression of compassion. Forgiving does not mean accepting wrongdoing but freeing yourself from the burden of resentment. Practice loving-kindness meditation, metta bhavana. Loving-kindness meditation is a practice encouraged by the Buddha to cultivate compassion. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and send well wishes to yourself, your family, friends, and even to those you haven't met. Compassion is not just a beautiful quality, it is the essence of a simple and happy life. When you practice compassion, you will find your soul becoming lighter, your relationships becoming more positive, and your life becoming more meaningful. Start today with small but sincere actions. A kind word, a loving glance, or a gesture of help can not only change someone's day but also brighten your own soul. If you find this content helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to spread the beautiful values from Buddhist teachings. Let compassion guide you towards a simpler and happier life. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Principle 4, Knowing enough is happiness, the key to a simple and peaceful life. The Buddha once taught, he who knows enough is the richest. This is not only a teaching but also a guiding principle for living a happy, simple, and peaceful life. In the modern society, where people constantly crave more wealth, fame, and material possessions, the lesson of knowing enough has become more valuable than ever. Happiness does not lie in possessing a lot, but in fully appreciating the value of what we already have. 1. What does knowing enough mean in Buddhist teachings? In Buddhism, knowing enough, tri-tuc, is the awareness that what we have is sufficient for living happily and peacefully. This does not mean we abandon all desires or motivations in life, but rather that we do not let those desires turn into greed, which leads to suffering. The Buddha taught that the root cause of suffering is greed. When we do not know enough, our minds are always influenced by insatiable desires, leading to anxiety, jealousy, and dissatisfaction. In contrast, when we know enough, we can live with contentment, serenity, and fully enjoy life. 2. Knowing enough and a simple life. Knowing enough is closely related to simplifying life. When we know enough, unnecessary needs naturally diminish, helping life to become more orderly and peaceful. Eliminating material pressure. Chasing after material possessions is one of the main causes of life's complexity. The things we buy not only cost money but also take up our space and energy. When we know enough, we keep only what is truly necessary, reducing pressure and increasing lightness in our lives. For example, a simple, tidy, and warm home will bring more peace than a cluttered house that offers no real value. Creating time for what matters. When we know enough, we no longer have to spend excessive time working to buy unnecessary things. Instead, we can focus on the true values, such as family, health, and personal development. 3. Knowing enough and happiness. Knowing enough is the core of happiness because it allows us to appreciate the present without being influenced by unnecessary cravings. Happiness from contentment. When you know enough, you will feel happy with what you have. A simple meal or a peaceful afternoon with family can provide profound joy. Eliminating feelings of jealousy. Dissatisfaction with what we have often leads to jealousy towards others. Knowing enough helps you focus on yourself instead of comparing with others. This not only brings you peace but also improves your social relationships. Finding joy in simple things. Happiness does not lie in lavish things but in how we enjoy the small things in life. Knowing enough helps you recognize the value of each moment and feel happiness in the simplest things. 4. Knowing enough and inner peace. Knowing enough not only brings happiness but also helps your soul become more peaceful. When you are not bound by cravings, your mind will no longer feel anxious or dissatisfied, thus achieving tranquility and balance. Reducing anxiety. Dissatisfaction with the present often leads to anxiety about the future. Knowing enough helps you focus on the present and feel content with what you have. Building inner freedom. When you know enough, you are no longer shackled by external cravings. This brings you true freedom, where your soul is no longer chained by materialism or fame. Creating space for spiritual growth. Knowing enough allows you to devote more time and energy to spiritual development. You can meditate, learn, or simply enjoy inner peace. 5. How to practice knowing enough daily. Knowing enough is a journey, not a state to achieve instantly. Start from small things and practice daily. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is the foundation of knowing enough. Spend time each day reflecting on what you have and thanking life for it. Reevaluate your true needs. Ask yourself, is this really necessary? Before shopping or making decisions, consider if it genuinely adds value to your life. Cherish present moments. Focus on the present and enjoy the simple things around you, a delicious meal, a beautiful sunset, or a warm conversation with loved ones. Meditation and mindfulness. Meditation helps you connect with yourself and realize that happiness is not found outside but within your soul. Knowing enough is an art of living that helps you find happiness, peace, and meaning in life. The Buddha taught that only when we know enough can we break free from the chains of greed and attain true tranquility. Start today by appreciating what you have and letting go of unnecessary cravings. A simple, happy, and peaceful life awaits you ahead. Principle 5, Mindfulness in Action, the key to simplifying life and focusing on what matters. In modern life, people often face a myriad of big and small decisions, from choosing what to eat and where to long-term decisions about jobs, family, and relationships. The abundance of choices can sometimes leave us feeling exhausted and pressured by our own decisions. The Buddha taught that mindfulness is not only a state of mind but also needs to be applied to every action in life. Before each action, consider carefully to ensure that it brings benefit and meaning. Mindful action helps us eliminate unnecessary things and directs us toward true simplicity and meaning in life. 1. Mindfulness in action according to Buddhist teachings. Mindfulness, sati, is one of the 8 factors of the Noble Eightfold Path, the path leading to enlightenment in Buddhism. The Buddha emphasized that every action should be performed with a clear awareness of its purpose, value, and consequences. This ensures not only that actions are correct but also that the mind is not disturbed by complex choices. Mindfulness in action requires us not to act unconsciously or be driven by immediate emotions. Instead, each decision should be made with careful consideration. Is this necessary? Does it provide real value? 2. Mindfulness simplifies life. When we practice mindfulness in action, we learn to identify what is truly important and eliminate unnecessary things, resulting in a lighter, simpler life. Eliminating unnecessary choices. Today's world presents countless options, from consumer products to lifestyles. However, not all choices are necessary or valuable. Mindfulness helps you identify what is truly needed, thus reducing complex choices. For example, when shopping, instead of following trends, you can ask yourself, is this item really necessary? Does it provide long-term value? Saving time and energy. Mindless action often leads to wasted time and energy. In contrast, mindfulness allows you to focus only on what truly matters, reducing pressure and optimizing time. Mindfulness and happiness. Happiness does not come from the quantity of work or achievements, but from satisfaction with what you do. Mindfulness in action ensures that each decision brings positive value and contributes to true happiness. Purposeful actions. When acting mindfully, you no longer feel lost or regretful about your decisions. Every action is performed with a clear purpose, bringing satisfaction and joy. Reducing anxiety and stress. Mindless decisions often lead to worries about consequences or feelings of regret. In contrast, when acting mindfully, you feel more confident and at ease with your choices. Creating true value. Each mindful action provides value, not only for yourself but also for others. This helps you feel that your life is meaningful and worth living. 4. Practicing mindfulness in daily actions. Mindful action applies not only to significant decisions but also to the smallest daily activities. Mindfulness at work. Before starting a task, ask yourself, is this task really necessary? Does it provide value to myself or others? Focus completely on one task at a time, rather than multitasking ineffectively. Mindfulness in communication. When communicating, listen sincerely and think before you speak. Ask yourself, is this statement necessary? Does it bring positivity? Mindfulness in communication not only helps build better relationships but also avoids unnecessary conflicts. Mindfulness in consumption. When shopping or spending, carefully consider whether an item is truly necessary and useful. This not only helps you save money but also reduces excess and waste. Mindfulness in self-care. Even during rest or relaxation, ask yourself, does this really help me feel better? Choose activities that provide long-term benefits, such as meditation, reading, or exercising, instead of just scrolling through social media. 5. Benefits of mindfulness in action. Enhancing the quality of life. Every mindful action provides value, making your life more meaningful and satisfying. Reducing complexity. Mindfulness helps you focus on what is important, thereby reducing unnecessary complexity in life. Creating balance. Mindful action helps you maintain balance between work, family, and self, leading to harmony and peace. Becoming an inspiration to others. When you live and act mindfully, you not only improve your own life but also spread positivity to those around you. Mindfulness in action is an art of living that helps you eliminate unnecessary things and focus on true values. The Buddha taught, do the right thing, at the right time, with the right intention. When you practice mindfulness in action, life becomes simpler, more meaningful, and happier. Start with the smallest things, think before you act, listen before you speak, and always ask, is this necessary? Does it provide value? Conclusion. Simplifying life, finding peace. Life, when viewed with awareness, is inherently simple. Each day begins with the morning sunlight, an opportunity for love, and ends with the tranquility of night. Yet, sometimes we complicate things ourselves. Worries, pressures, and unnecessary ambitions obscure the inherent peace, making our minds heavier and busier than ever. The Buddha pointed out that the root of all suffering lies in attachment and dissatisfaction. When we do not know enough, do not let go, and act without awareness, life becomes a series of endless concerns. The good news is that we can always change, always simplify our lives to rediscover joy and true peace. The journey of simplifying life with Buddhist teachings. Buddhism is not just spiritual teachings but also a practical guide to living a light and meaningful life. Principles like mindfulness, letting go, compassion, and knowing enough help us face pressures and lead us to a simple yet fulfilling life. Think of simplifying life as a journey of self-discovery. Each time you let go of something unnecessary, you will feel lighter. Each time you act with compassion, you not only help others but also brighten your own spirit. Each time you know enough, you realize that happiness does not lie in what you lack, but in how you appreciate what you have. The value of small actions. You don't need to change your entire life all at once. Start with small things. Spend a little time each day breathing slowly and living mindfully. Let go of unnecessary worries and replace them with acceptance. Offer a kind word to a loved one, or simply take time to listen. Ask yourself, what is truly necessary, before making decisions. These small actions, when practiced regularly, will bring significant changes to your life. If you find these teachings meaningful, don't hesitate to share them with your loved ones. A small act like sharing this video is also a way to spread the light of wisdom and compassion to others. Please like to support our spirit, share to amplify these values, and subscribe to continue journeying with us in exploring Buddhist teachings. Remember, you don't need to wait for perfect conditions to start. Begin your journey of simplifying life today, and you will find peace in each present moment. Nam Mo Buddha Shakyamuni.